show with the illustrious, the lady Camillia. We know her as Cammy Jones by way of now Baltimore, Maryland, Indianapolis, Louisville, Kentucky. Was there any place that you lived before then?
No, well, in Laverne.
Well, before that, I mean, before she left Nashville, y'all. But now she's doing what she does. So if we were in church, I would say after the next selection from the choir, but we're not in church in that particular space. We're in the podcast, and we just want to welcome her again to Conversations with Cornelius and the Yak, the Yolanda and Cornelius show. And she's going to share a plethora of things that she does for us, with us, to make sure that we are better people. So what's up, Cammy? Can I call you, may I call you Cammy?
Yes, you may.
I may. How do you sound? You sound pretty good? You good?
I sound awesome.
She's like, I sound awesome. Y'all should hear her voice. It's like really, I'm keeping it PG-13, but it's great.
I need this microphone.
You ain't got to lean into it. Scoot it closer to you. She's like, I need this microphone. I need that. It feels good, doesn't it? In the chair. Yeah, the office, all of that. So help me unpack life. Let's unpack life. Talk to me.
Like to hear it? Here it goes.
She's like, y'all know the song. Y'all, she's having too much fun already. Like, she's really liking this podcast thing. Let me say this. We did one virtually.
Yes.
You were in your office. I like it. Just keep it open. You were in your office. I can't remember exactly when that was, the actual date. It was December-ish.
Yes.
It was before Christmas.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, family, she was on me terribly about getting some information to her. And I think I'm still in hot water. I think.
It's lukewarm now.
It's lukewarm.
Yeah. Because you gave me half of the information. So we will give you a 72-hour deadline.
I have a 72-hour deadline
to turn in the additional information, and then
it's on and popping. So let's pause. Let's first of all, thank you for that. Thank you for grace. Can we call that grace?
You surely can.
Thank you for grace. Now what she did not know, y'all, is how good she was sounding these headphones. She really didn't. That's why I kept telling her. Look, I said, hey, Cammy, you got to do it in person to really get the sound effect. And it's like, oh, Pastor, I need one of these. So tell me, Baltimore. Baltimore is home now.
Baltimore is home now.
That's where you get your meal.
Yes.
That's your physical address.
Is my permanent residential address. I moved there. I had to get my driver's license changed to Maryland. It was a job requirement. And I said, well, this is official, because when I lived in Louisville, I had a Tennessee license. When I lived in Indianapolis, I had a Tennessee license until I started working with the state. And they were like, yeah, you gotta have this one.
So you are Baltimore all the way.
I'm not a Baltimorean, so I work in Baltimore.
Okay.
I live in the outskirts.
Okay.
So our Baltimore brothers and sisters and cousins, they like to separate everything city, county.
Okay.
So which is like strange to me, because I'm like East Nashville, South Nashville.
Right.
Like,
That's us.
I'm like out south, out east, down the street, whatever. Right.
Antioch, Laverne.
Yeah, Laverne, Hardin Place, whatever, and they're like city, county.
It didn't make sense to you.
And I'm like, well, all states have cities that are within the county.
Right.
So I'm not understanding city, county.
Okay.
Until I started working in the city and I understood it. So the way that Baltimore is made up is Baltimore City is the city.
All right. Baltimore
County is a county that includes all of these
suburbs.
Pretty much, right?
What we call them.
I guess, but then it's like neighborhoods that do not necessarily resemble Baltimore City. So for the people of color that populate Baltimore City, specifically the east and west side of Baltimore City, their ideology about the county is the counties where the bougie people live, or it's like this in the county, and they do this in the county, and I'm like, I'm confused. But I get it. Because in the city, I would say this, there are over 20,000 abandoned and dilapidated homes.
Pause. How does that even come to be?
You tell me. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
And then, so who comes in and gets those dilapidated buildings? Investors.
So they just live there, right? They're just there. So here's a quick story. So this is how it normally happens. So everyone from the city pretty much thinks that every person of color comes from South Carolina, right? So like when I'm there and I'm talking, they're like, "Oh, your country, you got a twang. You from Carolina?" I'm like, "What? You from South Carolina?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not from South Carolina, but I've been there." And they're like, "I'll keep it open." They're like, "But my grandma's from South Carolina." And I said, "Oh, well, we exist in other states besides South Carolina."
Right.
But anyways, there was like a great migration, right?
Right.
So a lot of people from South Carolina, South Carolina,
right,
and North Carolina and Virginia and so forth. But they came on up the map, and a lot of them stopped in Baltimore and made it what it was. The reason why Baltimore's housing is structured the way that it is because it's a port city. Port. P-O-R-T. Port city.
Port.
So there's a lot of ships that come in. So a lot of things that we need throughout, that region of country, they start there. I talk with my hands. I'm sorry. It's just.
What's wrong with that?
I'm just saying,
Talk with your hands.
So a lot of things that we need, they come there first, right? Mm-hmm. So there was, because of the mass migration, people needed work. You had workers. You had nowhere for your workers to live. And my workers are saying, blue collar. And they're saying, "I'm coming to work, but I got a family. And we all need somewhere to stay." So what is a very quick, simple, and easy housing development to create, right? Henceforth, the row homes. You throw these bad boys up. So like here in Nashville, I'm used to townhouses, a duplex. You connect me to one person, right? Or something like that. But row homes are like a literal row
of houses.
Of these houses, and they're all connected. They all may be single family homes, or you can walk in the front door and there's 2 or 3 people that live in this one row home that you see from the street, but you go inside and there's actually
2 apartments,
or maybe 3 or maybe 4.
Wow.
So that's their culture, and it's just how it's set up. So in the city, you see a lot of row homes that are both occupied and not. So what happened is, let's say that those homes were built in the, let's say 50s, 60s, right? So that would be
60 years.
So yeah. So
let's just say 60 years. They 60 years old.
But probably older. So let's say that grandma bought the house, right? Mm-hmm. Grandma passed away, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say house was left to mom. Or let's say mom passed away and now the house left to us. Now in 2023, I'm not really interested in grandma's house. And it was built in the 50s, 60s. So it still looks like 50s, 60s. So as time went on, you had wear and tear. A lot of us just did not fix those things right. So roof wasn't fixed. Plumbing wasn't fixed, so forth. Side note, Baltimore City has a huge issue with lead pipes. These houses have lead pipes. The state of Maryland, maybe just the city of Baltimore, I don't know, but they pay a lot of money to people who have been poisoned by the lead pipes that pump the water from, the pipes to their sink, right?
Right.
So, a lot of people get monthly checks for the children and themselves for lead poisoning. And that serves as an income for a lot of people. But, so these houses were just not, the upkeep just didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So
60 years later,
it's just a house and it no longer has a roof, but there's a whole tree growing out of it. Now let's talk about how long it takes a tree to grow from a seed to an actual tree with branches and leaves. A tree doesn't grow overnight. A tree doesn't get that big in 10 years. So let's think about how many years it takes a tree to get to that point. That's how long these houses have been abandoned.
Wow.
Or forgotten. And there are a lot of houses like that there. In the end, because we're Rome's and we're connected, let's say house 1 and 2 have occupants.
Mm-hmm.
House 3, tree growing out of the roof. House 4, boarded up, and it may only have 3 walls. So you have the front, the 2 sides, but the whole back end of the home is gone. And then house 5, someone lives there. And then house 6 and 7, trees. And it goes on. And that is how, for the most part, and I'm just honest truth, that's how the city is made up.
You've given me this wonderful history lesson. I thank you.
That is your Black History Fact for the day.
Black History Fact.
February 27th,
2023. No Time Joiner with Camillia Jones.
Black History Fact of the day.
Tomorrow, that you're not from South Carolina.
I'm not from South Carolina, as they say.
That's your Black History Fact. You're not.
No, my Black History Fact is about the row homes and the fact that, just as to me, as a community, we just forgot to take care of what Grandma and Grandpa worked very hard for and paid, and you don't know how good of a blessing someone leaving a home to you was. You just didn't take care of it. But then I didn't even throw in the fact that when we get to the 80s era and the whole crack epidemic,
which we've never recovered from. Let me just throw that in there as a sidebar.
Exactly.
We've never recovered from crack.
But that's what caused those houses to be, not all of them, but a nice percentage to be in that condition.
Okay.
Because then at that point in time, if I, granddaughter, grandson, have the house, and then I'm now turned on to crack, I'm not getting a roof fixed. I'm not whatever. I'm buying crack. And then I'm no longer paying the property taxes. Right? And for anybody with a home, the best way to lose it, don't pay their property tax. You can pay that mortgage all you want. Don't pay that property tax. See what happens.
So you've given me the rundown of Baltimore County?
City.
Baltimore City. Which you've been a resident for how many years?
I have lived in Baltimore County for it'll be 5 years, April 1st.
Okay. So move me from Baltimore County to your last residence, which was Indianapolis? Here.
Nashville.
I don't want to talk about Nashville.
Yeah.
I love Nashville. I love my city.
I do too.
Let me just do that because I love my city, but I know Nashville. We'll talk about Nashville later. Talk to me about the move to Indianapolis and how you were when you moved to Indy to get your 500 miles.
Indianapolis.
Did you like Indianapolis?
I did.
What was the appeal about the Midwest coming from the South?
So I think I've told you this just offline and just in conversations that.
Be careful what we share offline and in conversation.
Oh, well, it's fine. If I say it offline, I can say it online. It's hilarious.
Yes, I am. I'm going to stay who I am.
And I wouldn't ask you to do anything different, I swear. As I said before, every move that I've made has not been something that I wanted to do. I didn't say, oh, yeah, I'm moving to Louisville. I'm moving to Indianapolis. I'm moving to Baltimore. I've never uttered those words. I've shared that it seems like I get my biggest inspiration on the couch. But every place that I've lived, God has literally said, you're moving here. And because I listen to what my Father tells me, and I do the things that He tells me to do, I'm like, okay, but I don't know why. Because I'm not necessarily the rebellious kid, but because that's my Father, and we have that relationship, our conversation can be a lot different than however you talk to Him. Like that's, people are like, what? You talk to God like that? Of course, my daddy.
I thought you were talking about Charles. I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking about my Father who art in heaven.
Okay.
Although Charles is there now as well, but no,
yeah.
Hallowed be thy name, So literally, so God says you're going here. So when I was in Indianapolis, I actually where was I at? I was living in Laverne, and I was just like, God, something has to change. I had got my last degree, and I was told by the place that I was working that once I finished that degree, that my pay would increase and some different things. And when that happened, I waited because I like to
patiently upon the Lord.
On the Lord and the administrator, because I like to hold you to what you say. I don't think that I should need to remind you of something because you said that you should know, right? But time went on, nothing happened, so I went to her and I said, hey, yeah, I graduated, and you all said X, Y, and Z. And so she said, well, you've already received 2 increases in pay, and well, are you not happy with that? And I said, no, I'm not. So I started as an assistant to a director, working part-time. I became the director within like a month. So now I'm running this department. So I had an interim amount that I was paid, and then I received like an actual solidified amount once I was officially the director, right? That was fine. However, and I can just speak my truth now. I'm all about speaking my truth now. This is what it is. But the secretary was making more money than me.
Okay.
Who did not have any college education.
Okay.
And I wasn't like mad at her or anything, but then I was just like, you know what? When people show you who they are and people show you how much they do not value you, it's up to you, to say, hey, well, am I okay with being underappreciated? Am I okay with giving 100% and only getting 27 back? No, because that's not who I am. That's not what I come from. Dina and Charles did not create that type of baby. 40 years ago, at that time, I think I was in my 20s, but, even at 7, I knew what not to put up with because I knew whose daughter I was,
Listen. So you have a strong heterosexual background as it relates to parenting.
True, yeah.
We're in a different culture, in a different time, and we respect whoever's, even though this is Christian and it's conservative, that's what you do, that's fine, that's not what I do.
Right, I mean, that's between,
them.
Yeah.
So we're not attacking anybody, but I still hold fast
to my moral
George and
values
Weezy
and my beliefs and all of that good stuff. So my thing
James
is,
in Florida.
Florida. But no, so my thing even on that is I can love me without hating you.
All right, we're going to do that.
But I will say this, that I have, and not personally experienced, but I have observed people thinking that, like, if we're pro-heterosexual, that means that we're, like, anti-homosexual. And again, we just said that's not what that is. So if you can be proud of who you are and what lane you're in, how dare you not give me that same luxury to be proud of who I am and what lane I'm in. So and me loving me is not me hating you.
Okay.
So
just need to clear it up.
If that has to be my motto, I'm going to write that. Me loving me. I got to type that.
Type it out. Me loving me is not me hating you.
There you go. Wait a minute.
And you're supposed to say something 15 times.
I will say it 15 times.
So on your way back to Baltimore, walking through the airport, me loving me is not me hating you. Me loving me is not me hating you. Me loving me is not me hating you. And my favorite, Alan Greenspan says, I know you think you understand what you thought I said, but I'm not sure that what you heard is what I meant.
I love it. I love it.
I know you think you understand what you thought I said, but I'm not sure that what you heard is what I meant.
I'm quite sure it probably wasn't.
Right, but me loving me is not me hating you. I love that. That's going to be a Caprica hashtag coming up.
You cannot do that.
I will give you credit.
I am going to trademark this.
Well, you can trademark it. It's all good.
Wait a minute. I'm thinking of like a some type of this when we hadn't got some organizations yet.
We'll get to that. We might not even get to that today.
That's fine too. But
you know what I'm saying? We're just talking about you.
That's fine. We can do this.
While we on that spot, today's show is brought to you by Capri Cares. Know that I care. I care that I know. It's brought to you by Walker's Cafe and Grill, 109 U and Drive from 12 to 5.
Yes, I got some food. Wait, what time is it? It's 3. We still got 2 hours.
Listen, it's also brought to you by the Ephesian Primitive Baptist Church, 1506 22nd Avenue North, Nashville, Tennessee, 37208.
I was going to jump in and say 37208.
Where are you? Oh, it's brought to you by Ephesian Primitive Baptist Church, 1506 22nd Avenue, Nashville, Tennessee.
37208.
You had to say it. You just wanted to be there. Okay. Yes. It's also brought to you by Forever Zion, www.foreverzion. Paparazzi jewelry for your boo, your bae, your significant, your subordinate, your cousin, your friend enemy, and your enemy.
Yes.
Go to www.foreverzion.com. And then it's also brought to you by Trifold Outreach Ministries. That's Trifold Outreach Ministries, 49 Dry Creek Road, Goodlettsville, Tennessee. That meets on the second and fourth Sunday in Zoom. I know you're wondering, Cornelius, how in the world did you just run all of that off without taking a breath? Because I said so much.
So here's my question about Forever Zion. Wait.
Did you
ForeverZion.com.
I think did it come up?
Got it, Yolanda Walker. So,
yes.
So Chaplain Yolanda Walker. Can I place an order and it'll be mailed to me?
It should be. Yeah.
Oh well, then I'm going to do a little shopping as we are.
We can call. If I could call her now, but she would get in trouble because we're live.
No. I want to look. No.
And you can be like, Yolanda, you've blessed me, and I'm going to get me a Rode microphone and a stand, and I'm going back and remember I'm going to get me a little Rodecaster, and I'm going to start my podcast because I've been. She talking about me, y'all. I told her in October, came in with this podcast. I didn't get a podcast December.
So
here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane.
But he also needs to say how busy he is and that it was not totally my fault. I know that he does a lot. I do a lot. But if it was
anybody else, I'm going to pull out my Keep Sweat. It's not nobody, but anybody. Yeah. You hear me? See, people don't realize if you have the personality, podcasting is so fun.
It is.
And we haven't got to your website, which we need to talk about your business. So that means we're going to probably make this part 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm all for it.
But I just want people to understand how fun this is if you can flow.
Yeah.
If you ain't got to give the gab, this ain't for you.
No.
This isn't for you. Let me say it. This isn't for you. I will go apologize. She's in Baltimore now, so she doesn't use the Southern vernacular that she broke.
That is so not true.
Listen. Pause. You coming from Nashville? You coming from this?
Let's get back to Indianapolis.
No, we're not even gonna do that right now.
What?
We will later, maybe.
As I search for my jewelry.
Search for your jewelry.
I'm looking.
Search for your jewelry. You know what? Me and you have. Listen, I'm gonna tell you how blessed you are and how good you are at this. How long have we been podcasting right now up until this point? Do you even have a clue?
I do not.
Give me a time.
It's been over 30 minutes. I think.
It's 23. We're 24 minutes straight raw.
Oh.
I forgot to play introduction. Hello. I forgot to do all of that stuff. So iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Spotify, Pandora app, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, and the one Castbox and Deezer, and the one in India. If anybody's in India listening to us right now live,
hey India,
right, literally, shout out to you, Becca, because I got to tell her she's in India. She's nationwide.
Hey y'all,
nationwide.
Hey y'all, from Camillia Jones,
right? So,
Nashville.
Right, and we know some people, the great countries in India, sit in Nepal. Whoever, when we go back and look at the dashboard, we'll make sure that you're walking in purpose now.
That's awesome. So I will say this in my hat as a child welfare specialist in the city of Indianapolis.
So what'd you say? A child
welfare specialist. Okay. That was my title.
That's a true title, something you made up.
No. That was my title.
On your check, that's what it said.
That's what it said on my badge, on my work badge. You have my nice little picture. I had this cute little bob with the bang.
Can we see a picture?
Next time, sure.
I can't pull it up now. You know, see, that's the thing. We can just pull stuff. Is that I want to see the bangs.
No, it was my work badge, but I do have a picture of me with bangs.
So what made you get braids?
Braid because I don't have to comb my hair and just get up. Just get up and go. And I'm trying to grow my hair back out. If I wear my hair, then what happens is one day I'm at home, I get bored, I'll cut it. But let me say about Nepal. So I have some Nepalese clients. So
Nepalese, that's the correct pronunciation.
That's what they told me. So but I didn't really learn any, the language, but I was able to use my translator. But I did. I was privy to that culture. So I'm. It's just funny that you say Nepal because I'm like, yeah.
What a connection, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, we got to switch gears. We're going to talk about Indianapolis. We're going to talk about Laverne. We're probably going to talk about high school and college.
Oh, man.
On the next show.
Okay, yeah.
Because we need to,
I like that red. That's cute.
You like that red? You really shopping, huh? Y'all, she's really shopping on www.foreverzion.com. Go there and shop paparazzi jewelry for your boo, your bae, your subordinate, your significant, your cousin and them, your friend, your frenemy, your enemy. Go to www.foreverzion.com. Had to throw that back in there. Thank you, everybody who's listening on the podcast. And you know what? I should have brought my iPad in here because sometimes we get live listeners, but yeah, but we got to get back on the algorithm. But if you and I do this more, we will. Tell me about Walking in Purpose, because I do need to put that up here. Like, I do need to run that as a banner. Walking in Purpose. I thought I had it from the last time we spoken, but maybe let me look. Walking, no. Keep talking. Tell me about Walking in Purpose.
Walking in Purpose. So I know we're going to go back and revisit Indianapolis at another time, but again, God told me that's where I was moving. I went there.
Walking in Purpose at gmail.com?
Walking in Purpose TN.
At gmail.com.
Yes.
That
is the email address. And then the website gets a little tricky, but hey, I'll share it with you.
Well, it's posted for those who can see. It's Walking in Purpose TN at gmail.com. For those when it gets uploaded, they'll see it. But the website is what?
Walking in Purpose .vistaprintdigital.com.
Oh Lord, you got me doing too much.
Because that is a free site. Let me tell people that have.
Why come I can't just do just ask Camillia at Gmail?
Because that's a whole nother business. So let me tell you
something
that have
Walking in Purpose and Just Ask Camillia is different.
So Walking in Purpose is a nonprofit organization.
Which one of them is Beyonce? One is Sasha.
Neither one of them. They're both just Camillia Jones. But you do not necessarily always have to spend money. A free site gets just as many hits as a paid site. And one of my many models is to always work hard. Work smart, not hard. So you can get to this website just as quick as you would get to walkinginpurposetn.com, which I did have starting out, and I paid for faithfully. And so one day I was like, you know what? Maybe we can get this for free. And we do. And I love my free site so much better.
Give me that website again.
It's Walking in Purpose.
Capitalize on.
Everything is lowercase.
And then Purpose.
A dot.
Vistaprintdigital.
.com.
It's DIGTIAL.com. Is that it? Oh my God, I'm loving it. So walkinginpurpose.vistaprintdigital.com.
Yep,
that's the website.
That is the website. So Walking in Purpose is a nonprofit organization. Again, it stemmed from in 2015 in Baltimore. There was an incident where the police officers actually beat a man, Freddie Gray.
Freddie Gray.
So that was happening there. But in the city of Nashville, every day they were talking about youth that were being murdered and were murdering each other, so forth and so on. And I'm like, Lord, what is it that you want me to do?
What would that have me to do, Lord? Yeah. Was you on the couch?
I was in the bed this time. I was
all right.
Like, wait a minute, Lord.
Because your revelation comes from the couch.
This isn't the couch, right? And he spoke the title. The name, Walking in Purpose. And I wrote it down. And I still have the notebook that I wrote it down in.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
To this day.
Till this day. I still have the notebook. And then he talked, I began to write. And it was like organization, community resources, counseling, parenting, and all these names, all these titles and things that I needed to do. And then I had to piece it together because I'm writing. I'm not really paying attention while I'm writing, but I'm writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, I'm like, okay, so he wants me to do something called walking in purpose with all these different, avenues, doors, so hallways and all that. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to build this program because I'm great at building programs, and I am going to give it to someone. Because
you're going to build it and give it.
That's what I thought.
That's what you thought. Noah didn't get that opportunity, did he? I don't know who's calling the church phone, but it is what it is. Thank them for calling. I'm not going to answer it. I do apologize. If you hear this podcast and you hear the phone ring, if you're the one calling the church, you need to call my personal cell number, which I will not give out right now, or email me at cahill1977@gmail.com. Continue talking, Noah.
All right, now. I'm going to build that ark, yes.
Can you build it?
So
you built it.
I built it, and I posted on Facebook one day, and I said, hey, there's this great program that someone down there needs to do, and it's blah, 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 blah. And everyone that responded said, yeah, that sounds awesome. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure God meant that for you. And
right.
I said, oh, no. He just told me to build it. And I'm, at this point, lying because I know that it was for me to do. But I felt like I had he's telling me to pause for the cause, okay?
No, I'm finished your statement. Question. I really do.
I'm just glad we're not in front of the whiteboard, because if so, he would have so many questions.
Oh my God. No, because what would be God's reasoning? Because I don't really ask why questions anymore. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. Because they hardly ever get answered. Mm-hmm. Or you make people justify. And even in the justification, you can't accept. What would be God's rationale? And we don't think for God.
Yes.
For him to give you the idea, but you give it to somebody else. Now, where do you find that in the Bible?
I don't.
Where do you find that in the hood?
So, hey.
Where do you find it in the hood?
So, wait a minute.
Where do you find that? God gives you an idea. Oh, by the way, Jeff Bezos, I'm going to give you the blueprint for Amazon, but I'm not going to have anything to do with it. Where do you find that? Oh, by the way, Elon Musk, I'm going to give you the blueprint to make electric cars, but I'm not going to have anything to do with it. Where do we find that?
Well, guess what you just did there? And I hope you allow me to
I'm shutting up. I'm shutting up. So just two minutes, and we had 35, and we'll wrap it up.
Okay, but
and get ready for part 2.
Oh, goodness. But just in you saying that, it just took me like instantly to the church. Mm-hmm. And just like in one of the many roles that I have worked in or walked in within ministry. And like I said, I like to build programs, but it's very hard to build something or come to a group of people with something if they don't have that same passion. Seriously, like if they don't buy into it, it's just not going to work, right? So personally, I have experienced a lot of times of me going into the church that I was attending with an idea and then wanting to do X, Y, and D, and that whole, I'm still in that same frame of mind of building this program and I'm coming, right? And then while I'm there and I'm working this program and it's working and it's nice and it's awesome, but then as soon as you remove yourself from that location or whatever, then the program like fizzles and dies.
And you've seen that.
I more than I care to even really admit to, but it's like the program started with me and it ended with me. But then like I literally came in with great intentions, because I'm thinking, well, you know what? Truly, the people want to serve the people. The people want to love the people.
Truly.
And, I got this program because I'm great at building it and I can structure it because I'm about structure and order, and all I need is the people to do what's laid out. But then if the people don't do it, and then also that, and then I'm just thinking now, just now something else pops up in my head. The other day I was talking to my mom and we were quickly talking. No. My mother and my aunt, who is also a pastor, and that may be very important.
Your aunt?
Yeah, my aunt is Donna Long. She's a pastor. She's in Chicago now.
Okay. You've held that from me for all of these many months in phone conversations that we had.
Oh, man. I come from but that can be a whole show. That can be part 7.
She said part 7.
Preachers and deacons and evangelists and yeah, we can do that. And the fact that I'm a seer and all that, let's do it. I'm about it. But we were talking about David and how here you go, you have this town with all these grown men and and they're saying, well, who's going to try to take out this bully that's bullying the people, and everybody's scared. And then you have this little boy that says, I'll do it, I'll go. And I was thinking, I preached that one Sunday. I was the guest pastor at, oh gosh, please don't kill me.
Did you just call yourself the pastor?
Listen to me.
Did you just call yourself pastor or guest minister?
No.
You said guest pastor.
I know what I said.
So are we speaking things that are not as though they are? Ah! Oh, no.
This man is something else, you people, I swear.
Did you say I was the guest pastor?
So listen, I was the guest of
pastor.
Pastor of the it was their youth Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And the title was Overlooked by People but Chosen by God, or maybe the other way around. But I just talked about
guest pastor.
Our lives,
Guest pastor.
Our lives, just the life of David. And I'm saying, look, we're looking and like we've run out of sons to interview, and God is saying, he's not it. Yeah, no, that's not it. No, don't even go over there because that's not the one. And they're like, well, surely somebody else is in this house because this is where I was sent. And they're like, oh, well, there's David out in the field tending the sheep. So we go out to just David tending the sheep. And that is exactly who God has chosen. He's like, that's him. That's him. That's the next king. And think about this. The fact that at a young age, I don't even know how old, and I'll be the first to.
He was a teenager, we say.
Teenager, is what
theologically,
I
we say he's a teenager.
And I'd say maybe 14, 14, somewhere around
15-ish.
But you're a kid, right? You're not an adult. You're a kid,
right.
And someone is coming to you and say, "Hey, you're going to be the next king," and your head doesn't blow up. You're like, "Oh, okay," but you continue to go back to tending sheep and doing the work that you are assigned by your father. And this your earthly father at this point, right? Didn't get the big head, like he's still.
You're preaching good right now.
No, I know I am. Like, I really want... We don't have time, but I swear, if you let me come back and do this something, like, makes...
your assignment.
Part 8 is going to be...
Your assignment.
David, yeah.
Your assignment.
My assignment, seriously. But I'm saying he was a kid. He didn't get the big head. He still lived that kid life. He still tended those sheep. He still was out there. He still did all the things that he did. And then until it was time for him to become king, right? But then I thought about how with us, right? Because we don't, a lot of us don't have what David possessed at that age of 13, 14, 15, right? You come to me and say, girl, you're going to be a millionaire. And then in my mind, I'm quickly thinking about how I'm going to spend these millions of dollars, what I'm going to do, what the house is going to look like, and all of this good stuff, right?
Don't make me hit the wrong button.
Because of what you've told me is what to come, right? But then here's the deal. Just because you said it, I mean it's going to come. But look at how big our head gets. Look at what world we instantly go into because based on what somebody says to us. But then I think back to David. David, you're going to be king. God has chosen you. You are the next king, right? And he's like, okay. And then he goes back to tending the sheep. We don't have that. We don't have that.
We don't have what exactly?
Whatever it was that David had. We don't have, my thing is...
Humility?
That
David didn't have the mega church. David didn't have
all.
He didn't have Instagram. He didn't have.
Not needed.
He didn't have the social.
Wait a minute. Pause that. Look, let me throw my hand up at you. Let's run it back a little bit more to Jesus. See, here's the deal. So you can't tell me that the mega church is needed, that your name on billboards and flyers and so forth is needed. All Jesus did was say, "Hey, bro, y'all want to walk with me?" And they walked with him. You get what I'm saying? He didn't have this big mega church, and I need this, and I need 12 armor bearers, and I need blah, 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 blah. He just said, "I'm out here.
Come follow me.
I'm about my Father's business. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a story. Let me help you. Let me save your life." You get what I'm saying? He didn't need all of that, and he still had followers. I would follow that man before, and I'm not going to name.
Right, we're not right.
But I'm just saying it doesn't take all of that. So again, we, in our different state of mind, in our different whatever that may be, and the word will come to me. We feel as though we need those things, right? That's what makes us this grand pastor. That's what makes us whatever it is we're looking for. But I tell people it don't take all of that. It don't take that. I love to teach. I love to minister. And then let's go ahead and throw in what the word minister means. Minister means to serve. Right? Serve.
Guest pastor.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pick with you about
it's
that.
It's all good though.
You know what? Let me say this.
We gotta go. It's 2 minutes, y'all. See, I can talk, but I got a plane to catch.
I know. That's why we're getting off of here.
Man.
Now I understand somewhat more. Listen at me. Why you story tell the way you do.
Do you? Okay.
We're not gonna get into that now.
That's all good. That can be part 9.
No. Yeah, but it's because there's the anointed you. Let me rebuke you as prophet in love. You have been positioned for the table, but you still trying to serve the sheep.
Okay.
You caught all of that. Yeah. You've gone back to the field you've literally graduated from that.
Yeah.
But you want to stay there
because
you don't want to surrender to the seat at the table.
So guess what?
Y'all?
Wait a minute.
Guess what, y'all? Guess what?
Oh my God.
Yes, we gotta quit though. We gotta quit.
But I gotta say this.
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you have it.
And then I'm gonna let it go. So oh man, I cannot wait to share this with my pastor in Baltimore. Shout out to Prophetess Linda Scott.
And give us the address of the church.
Kingdom Model Ministry. So we're not a brick and mortar, although we're actively working on the construction piece of our building. But when I say we're community based, like, hey, you want me to come to your living room, set 3 chairs in here, and here we go. Mm-hmm. But she literally said something like that a few weeks ago, and she said, yeah, but what you don't understand is that your gift is marketplace. And I was
but you still want to serve the sheep.
And that's, so shout out to Linda.
Bishop, apostle,
prophetess.
I'm with that. Shout out to her and the church. Prophetess. So we connect and flow.
Yeah.
All of that we share some spiritual transparencies. Now I get it the last weekend. Why you tell the story from that position? Because you are suffocating your gift, stealing with the sheep.
Wait.
Still with the sheep. Because here's the thing, sitting at the table in this seat comes with a greater surrender.
Yeah.
You don't have to surrender with the sheep.
I understand.
I know you understand. We'll talk about that later.
Wow. So, why did you do that? I mean...
No, it flows now. Now I understand your flow. I understand. I'm a seer. Wait a minute. She's a seer. I'm saying, okay. Then you slipped up. I was the guest pastor. Okay. She could keep talking. So what Cammy does, Cammy goes to hide with the sheep while Camillia sits at the table.
Yeah. No, you're right. But I'm going to need you to stop reading me at this table, sir. So we know that they have this whole red table talk or whatever.
Oh, right. This is the blood.
We are at the red table, the real red, the blood now. But yeah, you don't have to do that to me in front of my friends over in Nepal. You don't have to do this, sir.
It's good.
No, sir, this was not necessary. No.
This was.
No,
but
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Me loving me.
It's not me hating you.
Is not me hating you.
Yes.
And I learned a lot now today and I have to teach this, especially to the leadership here. Once you get anointed, even though you anointed, you still haven't submitted. You might have surrendered to the prophet, but you have not submitted.
Agreed.
Because you serve the sheep, but you sit at a table.
Yeah.
And there comes a point, and you still serve people.
Yeah.
But at the table, there's a different service, and there's a different emotional intelligence.
Yes.
So now I get Cammy. Now I know how to listen to Cammy.
And listen to
Camillia. Because at first I was just trying to figure out what is going on with this anointing and this unction in her voice. And I know Camillia has to show up because she just still want to play with the sheep. When Cammy is so situated at the table.
Nope, you flipped it around. So no, Cammy's with the sheep, Camille's at the table.
Okay, my bad. I thought that's what I said.
No, that's how you did not. But
okay.
No, but you are
so prophetic.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, let's just flow. I get it now. So you're still. I got it. I got you now.
Wow.
I got you now. Listen, I got you now. I understand.
Wow.
I understand, and then now I understand. Because the more you do this, the more that has to show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not about, and we hadn't gotten into the writing the grants and the services and all of that stuff. We'll do that later. But it's about this right now that I have to come to the table and get back to my prophet and say, you know what? I'm podcasting with this clown, Cornelius.
I know.
And
I've told her about you.
And we just walked into a whole nother portal spiritually.
I swear, like it has taken me somewhere completely different, and I'm like, wow, like I can't. If we were in church and it was Sunday,
I see
would had to throw my shoe at you right now.
I see it, but your countenance has changed. Yeah. I'm not saying I still hear all that stuff.
I understand. Yeah, but wow, that's all I can say.
Yeah, I'm not reading you.
No,
It's discernment. No, I just see it.
Wow.
Well, listen, y'all, I wish I had more time. I do have more time. I do have more talk, but I don't have enough of her time. She's got to go. I got to go. We got to go. And guess what? If you need her services for anything, and she's going to explain her anything, because I can't explain her everything. You understand? You can explain it. If I need social work, if I need grant writing, if I need counseling, if I need consulting, where do I need to go?
So I would say go to www.askcamillia.com.
Oh, that's askcamillia.com.
So that is the best way to get in touch with me for pretty much anything. However, if you do go to the Walking in Purpose website, there is a page that talks about Ask Camillia. Also,
I got just Ask Camillia at Gmail.
That's the email. So just askcamillia@gmail.com is the email. There's also Ask Camillia Consulting at yahoo.com. But again, website wise, go straight to www.askcamillia, askcamillia.com. That'll get you to me, or you can go straight to the website, which is walkingin.vistaprintdigital.com. On that page, it has my contact info, tells you about different programs, services, the whole nine. All I need you to do is call me. You call me, tell me what you need, and we go from there, pretty much. So as my friends say, I am they call me the Olivia Pope of the business world.
Okay, Olivia.
But I'm also a Jill of all trades. They say, well, like a jack of trades, a master to none. But I say, no, I am a Jill of all trades and a master to them all. Honestly, like I don't just do what they dibble and dabble. Like I literally know my stuff. Shout out to my professor, Professor Wade, social worker. She was like, know your stuff.
Hey, you know your stuff.
Yes. She wouldn't have it any
What
other
school?
way. Middle Tennessee State University.
Big Blue.
Yeah, go Blue Raiders.
Wonderful. Now I'm at the 3500 John Mary Boulevard,
Yeah.
which is right up the street.
That's at Tennessee. You talking about Tennessee State University? Oh, that's fine. I started there.
No. That's not fine. That's the creme de la creme. We're not gonna go there. We were just walking in the anointing. We're gonna stay in the anointing.
Well, that's just fine, sir.
Yes. Hey, y'all. I'm done for right now. I will see y'all on another show episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Yak, the Yolanda and Cornelius show, and Conversations with Cornelius with your lovely co-host, Ask Camillia Jones. Peace and blessings. And everybody, go to your website. What's your website again?
www.askcamillia.com.
All right, Camillia. When we going to see you again?
Soon.
When will I see you again?
I'm going to do that. We'll start singing.
We out of here, y'all.
She
was fly, y'all. She fly. And we're going to talk because we got to talk now because now I get it. And she knows what I'm getting, what I'm saying. And she knows what I'm talking about. Now I get it. Peace, y'all. One love. It's been fun. It's been real.